Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Kristian, and welcome back to Living in Color. I apologize if my audio and visual is not up to par, but I'm working a double at work today, and I didn't want to go another day without putting my video up. So here it is. This week's topic is our coming out stories. My coming out story is probably a little bit different than a lot of other guys, for the simple fact that, one, I'm not really close to any of my family. The one I'm close to is my mother. And two, I don't have any friends, so there's really nobody to come out to but my mom and my wife. And of course, those two women in my life, luckily for me, will love me whatever sex, what sexual orientation I choose. So, as far as coming out to a partner or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, I just told my wife, I'm like, I've always felt different, and now I think I'm ready to really transition into the gender that I feel like I've always been. And she was really accepting of it, real understanding. She was right there with me when I was researching effects of testosterone, how much it costs, long-term effects, and stuff like that. So there's really no negativity there. As far as coming out to parents, I only have one, just my mom. So that was pretty easy because I was outed by an uncle when I was young about having a crush on this girl. And he was the one that forced me to tell my mom that I was a lesbian, which we all know that's not the case now. But just like back then when I was like 12, 13, she was like, "What are you trying to tell me? You prefer women?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay." So my coming out story was easy. As far as friends and stuff, I don't really have any. I have a certain group of associates, and I don't really care. So I'm not living stealth or anything. I'm out at work. As far as when I got hired, my manager knows. My managers know. My store owner knows that I'm transgender. But as far as like new people that's been coming on, thankfully with being 3.5 months on T and this lovely binder from GC2B, they really don't. They don't even know. They just assume I'm kind of a feminine, small body guy. So coming out at work was easy, family was easy, and partners was easy for me because I stay to myself and I don't really associate with too many. So that's basically my coming out story, real short and simple, sweet, to the point. My tip for anybody that's transitioning and hasn't come out yet, the biggest thing that I found out that's kind of makes things difficult is if you allow somebody to out you to a family member or a spouse or a partner or even a friend, somebody to out you before you have the chance to really tell your side of the story. Like, it's hard after you've already been outed, because once you've been outed, especially if you're not there, people are going to say, well, oh, OMG, and, just dumb shit. So I feel like it's always better to out yourself for someone to out you. So, tips about how to tell your parents that you're transgender. I guess that all depends on your age group. Like, if you're young, anywhere between, 8 to 16, you're kind of really still under your parents' care. So that can go either or. They can be really for it, they can be really against it, or they can be nonchalant about it. So it all depends on when you're comfortable, when you want to tell them. And with the Bruce Jenner interview and all that stuff coming out, it's a lot of stereotypes, and it's just hard. It shouldn't be that hard because all you're doing is telling people who you are. If society didn't assume that everyone's going to keep the gender that they were born in or assigned to, then we wouldn't really have this coming out problem. If people would just stop assuming that their little girl that was born a little girl is going to stay a little girl and or have a sexual orientation to the opposite sex. People just expect that. So when you're not that, then you have to come out, which is crazy. Like, why do I have to come out? You never ask. You don't ask a heterosexual person or a cisgender person, like, typical questions you would ask a trans man or a trans female. So, I'm trying to keep this short, but at the same time, I don't want to be too short, because I know my last video was like a minute. So, I'm trying to give you guys some time to really get to know me, I guess. Yeah, my transition was easy. For everybody whose transition might have been a little harder, if you're shunned by family, friends, or a partner, I really feel for you. But at the same time, I don't want to tell you that you're choosing the wrong path. Do whatever makes you happy. At the end of the day, do what makes you happy. If being transgender makes you happy, cool. If living stealth makes you happy, cool. If coming out to everybody you see on the street makes you happy, cool. Just do what makes you happy. Because when you die, it's over for you, not anybody else. So you gotta live for your happiness every day. That's pretty much all I have to say about coming out. Thanks again for tuning in to Living in Color. And this is Kristian, and I'll see you guys next week.